think that is on. Yes, it is. All right. There we go. All right. How's it going, everybody? I am Josh, and welcome back to Absolute Zeros podcast. As you see, we have a little new setup here. So yeah, again, I'm Josh. With me tonight, we have Coach down here.
I'm not going to say anything. I was just going to wave.
Okay, okay, and we have Carl.
Yo, yo.
So yeah. Besides streaming this on YouTube, I found a new streaming service called D Live. So I'm also streaming over there for the very first time. See how that goes, whatnot. Let's see. Anyways, yeah. How you guys been doing? How you been doing, Coach?
Bro, I'm good. I'll be honest with you. Got back to doing comedy again, so I've been kind of doing a couple of dates here and there. So I'm good. I'm in a really good place, having a good time right now.
Uh,
Staying healthy. That's the key to it. Stay healthy.
yeah, yeah, especially in this day and age. Okay, so yeah, we have a few main topics that I have pulled up, but after that, it's basically just free form. So, were any of you able to secure an Xbox Series pre-order, or did any of you guys try?
Well, I have a PC and Game Pass for PC, so I've had the Xbox X for a while. I didn't try, and the reason was I've been really following this whole thing for the last year. And in 2019, when Phil Spencer said they weren't really trying to sell consoles, um, I really kind of took that to heart, and I went with the Game Pass for PC.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see me needing the console. I mean, if I didn't have the graphic card I have a 2070 right now.
Ooh.
Definitely would have been all over the Series X. But right now, that system is about the equivalent of a 2060 Super. So I'm like, I'm kind of in a good place. I'm gonna hold off on an Xbox console probably this generation unless they do something just fantastic and amazing, and I just have to get one. I think I'm gonna just stick with the Game Pass for PC and run that route.
I feel that. I feel that. I was uh, I was up at 9:50 Tuesday morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, lines, digital lines were definitely crazy. I came it came at 10 o'clock. Came about 10 o'clock Central Time. That's when the pre-order started, and sites basically crashed. They
Oh yeah,
they
no.
they crashed big time. I was finally, fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at, able to secure my pre-order through GameStop.
There you go, bud.
So yeah, I'm hoping that actually happens and I get a good non-broken console.
I think
Hopefully. I
you
mean,
guys are going to be in a good spot, man, this year. I honestly believe that. Seriously, I think that it's not going to be a big deal for people. If you did the pre-order, you're good. But I think if we wanted to pick up one, they're going to be available for the holiday season. We're going to be able to
Oh
walk
yeah,
into a store at Christmas
oh, yeah, easily. Yeah.
and pick one up easily. Yeah,
yeah. I just don't want to have to deal with the hassle of Black Friday or the Christmas season. That's
Yeah.
why that's why pre-orders are the best.
Yeah,
true.
most of the GameStops around my area, they're all cleared out, honestly, of
Wow.
PlayStation orders and Xbox orders. Because I stopped in there the other day and they're just like, yeah, no, we're out of everything. Like, we don't have any more. I was like, damn. And I called around a bunch of other places and they're like, yeah, you just have to wait for another shipment to come in or until we have more. So, yeah.
Didn't PlayStation overseas accidentally release their pre-orders early?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Walmart in the U.S.
Oh, oh, they did.
A lot of
Oh,
people don't know this, but what Walmart did was it was supposed to go the next day. Walmart in the U.S. went, we got them. Here you go. And that's what started the whole kind of. Um, it started a frenzy that didn't needed to be happening. But Walmart's
Mm.
notorious for doing that. Walmart's did it with the Harry Potter books. They've done it with games. This year it was the PS5. So it's maybe Walmart shouldn't be allowed to carry stuff. Is what I'm starting to think. They have a. If you've done it over and over, it's now a pattern. That's just how you run things. So I'm just like, maybe we should just cut Walmart out of the equation.
It's like Microsoft, Sony. Look at the pattern. Walmart's doing shit.
Yeah, they did them jank, man. Walmart in the U.S. basically opened up and started the entire frenzy saying, here's our allocation. You can reserve them now. And it was a frenzy. It was a frenzy.
What's hilarious is that through this whole ordeal, people were trying to pre-order the Series S and X, which is the tower and the white tower on the screen right now, but they were actually pre-ordering the Xbox One X,
That's funny.
which is
That is
hilarious. Because I can understand the misconception, the misunderstanding. Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, yeah, but Xbox still got money.
Yeah, but you'd think with all the money they would be able to pay someone to come up with decent names for the consoles. Like
Xbox 360, X, yeah, Xbox One, yeah. It's like it's all going back to the X. All going back to the
yeah,
X.
I really wish they would have called this one Xbox Infinity. Like, I really like that name.
Considering
And I heard that
considering
was
they
like
said
floating
they
around for a
might,
while.
yeah, considering that they said they might be stopping production on any future consoles, I could see that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want this to be their ultimate bad boy.
Here's my thing, man. If you guys are watching the numbers, and maybe I'm jaded from working in the industry as long as I did, but I'm thinking Game Pass has been doing this thing where they're bringing in all these studios, and all through 2019, they bought everybody up. They've been making Game Pass the thing, and Phil Spencer said it's not about selling systems. We could care less about selling the systems. The star is Game Pass. We need you to buy into the ecosystem, which is the same thing that Apple's done. Google does it. You get us to buy into the ecosystem, and then we filter out from there. Oh yeah, I might as well. I got a Windows PC. I might as well get the Windows console. It's buy into the ecosystem. And Game Pass is the way they're going to do that. I love this whole idea of what they're doing with it. I think Game Pass. When I worked at GameStop, one of the things is at Christmas we see the parents come in, and they'll be like, "Hey, we're going to buy this one big gift for the kids. Buy the Series S and give them Game Pass, and your kid has 500 games to choose from on Christmas Day."
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, bro.
Yeah, it really is the way that Xbox or Microsoft are going nowadays. Because the only reason I bought the Series X, is, well, two reasons. One, I need to replace my original Xbone because I still have that from back in the day, and that will be my main Blu-ray player, my main 4K player for DVDs and whatnot. Because I like buying physical discs for movies and whatnot. But yeah, I can definitely see myself switching to the digital aspect when it comes to playing video games for the foreseeable future. It's definitely something Microsoft is pushing heavily towards right now.
Steam broke me.
Dude,
Steam
always
made me
breaks
go
you.
digital a long time ago. I'm like, yeah, that's all I know is digital now, so I'm good.
Steam and Humble Bundle will break you, dude.
Done for. Done for.
One,
Done for.
the biggest news I'm sure everyone has heard by now is that Microsoft bought Bethesda this week.
Yep.
So now,
$7.5 billion.
yeah. So now they have titles such as the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Fallout, Doom, and many others. So, a lot of people have been heralding this as the uh, the savior for Fallout and
Yeah.
Skyrim, because how many times do you want to see those games ported to other consoles?
And
Um,
also, I've seen a lot of the memes, and the memes are a blessing, in my opinion, because they're like, oh, now it's like I've seen one where it's like a child crying, like doing homework, and it's like Bethesda people when Microsoft buys them, now they have to finish a game before they release it.
Yeah, yeah.
that is my favorite. I saved that one. That's my kind of salt. When I saw that, one, I was like, yeah, this
Honestly,
is the
like
best
I
one.
honestly, yeah, I feel like Microsoft was the savior for Bethesda, especially after 76.
Oh,
A lot of people, well, yeah, I honestly I felt bad for people who pre-ordered the game and
mm-hmm.
like the $200 thing,
Yeah.
and then it came out and they're just like, oh, it's severely broken. I felt so bad for those people. But now they have access to so much more. Like there's so much more money is in their accounts now. They have more people who are able to program and code their games to actually work, you know.
The
And yeah, it's like,
one of my favorite memes that I saw is corporate one. It's Bethesda's telling their shareholders, "All right, Microsoft wants to buy us for $15 billion," and one of the employees is like, that's a dollar per virus, dollar per bug, out the window."
That's so messed up. That is so messed up.
I mean, they're not
that's
wrong.
Here's our thing. Let's just be real. Uh, I think Bethesda has gotten away with murder over the years. I'm gonna go all the way back to maybe Fallout 3. Let's just go back to that. I'll just do recent history. I'm not
No.
even going to talk about what Obsidian did with New Vegas when it first came out. There were some game crashing bugs there, but I think Bethesda has this reputation where every time they put a game out, it's been patched by the community
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
every time, and so they always got a pass. If EA or Activision or any other game company had done the things Bethesda had done, people would riot.
Yeah.
Bethesda has always got a pass from the community. And 76 blew up in their face. And I went to Quake. Well, you remember I went to QuakeCon that year and they
Yeah.
showed us 76. And I came back from it. Everybody's like, how was it? And I said, I'm not buying it. And I stuck to my word. I did not buy it. I was like, I saw it. I don't like it. It's not for me. I don't want it. I'm not putting money into this. And everybody, oh, you're going to buy it. You'll buy it as soon as it comes out. And it came out and it blew up and I never purchased it. And I've never been like, I was happy to be right, but I felt bad to be right because I told people I'm not doing this anymore. It's an abusive relationship. I'm giving them money.
Chandler's currently playing it right now, and he doesn't like it.
Yeah, I wanted them to change and they wouldn't change. And I was just like, only way I can vote is with my dollars. I'm just not going to pour money into Bethesda. Wolfenstein, I love.
It's a great game.
Dishonored, great. I'm a fan of those games. Fallout 4, I had to
Eh.
play with mods just to play the game because it was so broken. That made no sense to me. And so at that point, it was just kind of, and even now, my computer, it crashed on me because I have to go get another program to lock it at 60 frames a second because my 2070 wants to run it at 143, 163 frames, and the game crashes at anything over 163.
Wow.
damn.
I've tried everything to stop it. I have to go download another program to knock it down, to lock it in at 60.
Program after
Wow.
program after program.
So at that point, you're like, okay, I'm running more programs to play this one game than any other game on here. Maybe I just don't finish this one.
It's like more mods play this game than any mods play Minecraft. What's going
Yeah.
on here?
But I'm playing Grand Theft on Ultra with no issues and no mods. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. At some point, it was like, I'm done, Fallout. I am through. I'm over.
Yeah, I
I'm
remember when they released the the footage for Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I told a bunch of friends this. I was like, "There's nothing that it's not changed. It's just Fallout 4 with multiplayer. That's it." And they even took out a bunch of things that they had put in for Fallout 4. And I was like, it's you're just buying the multiplayer aspect of it. It's nothing's changed. The graphics are not the same, or possibly even worse, because I saw some terrible gameplay. Um, and I think one of the biggest glitches I saw was when you first left the vault at the beginning of the game, you fell through the world and you just fell and fell and
It was
fell. And so you
possible.
literally had to restart your console to play the game again. And I was like, man,
Wow.
no,
That's
It was
stupid.
no,
possible.
thank you.
I tried it on Game Pass the first weekend. One of my buddies was like, "Hey, I'm going to get it. Please join me." And I played with him, and it was one of those things where we jumped in and we played for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and we were both like, "Hey, I'm out. I'm not going to do this." I think the whole idea, in Fallout 4, we had to have those outposts.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Garvey kept us so busy with those, and I wanted them to get away from that. But I felt like here, you were making me do the crafting. They were forcing us to do the crafting more. They were really hyping up crafting, and I was like, I'm just done. I mean, like, I think Obsidian's The Outer World was a better game. It was the Fallout I wanted. It was what I wanted, and they
All right.
gave me that game in that one. So it was kind of like I may be done with Fallout. I don't want to
I re-
say I'm completely done. I'm sure I'll go to another QuakeCon in the future when they announce Fallout 5 or something, and I'll reserve my judgment till I'm on the front row again watching. But
Maybe
yeah, I might.
Fallout New Vegas the remaster.
Bro, if they just do
Ooh,
Fallout New Vegas 2, just give me a part 2.
that was my favorite one, New Vegas. Oh,
People would
It
jizz
was
their
so good.
pants.
kisses to that one.
Yeah, I totally would, man. Just give me one. But here's my thing: is the idea is like I'm just glad 76 made them accountable to their fans.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, that was all I wanted them to be accountable. And if 76 would have been a failure, I don't think Microsoft could have swooped in and purchased them for that.
Probably not.
No, no, I feel like speaking on you saying that Bethesda had a past for years and years. I think that's just what the community had just come to expect from Bethesda. Because even before 76 came out, there were always those memes of where it's like you see like the coffee mug and like the handle is inside of it though, and it's like, oh, this was made in Bethesda or something, or you see like a statue that's half in the wall. It's like, oh, made by Bethesda. Like people just, I think they just got comfortable and they got used to it, and so that's why, like you said, people just gave them a pass. And
Here,
all the best glitches come from Elder Scrolls.
yep, yep,
not gonna argue that one with you. Not arguing that one.
Horse riding off into the sunset, literally.
yep.
Uh, I do want to ask though, since they it is a Bethesda game, have you guys played Doom Eternal?
Doom Eternal. So I played it for about 2 days, I think.
How was it? Uh oh. Uh oh. Oh dear. I think they froze. I think they froze. Yes, they froze. For some reason. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Give me just a second. What's going on? Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
The bag was literally just made out of like twain or something.
Yeah,
Twine, that's it. And
I
I
saw
was like,
it when it showed up, and I saw it online, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Reddit
yep,
was on fire when that bag showed up. Oh
yep.
my god! I was like, Mm-mm.
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
glad I skipped.
Oh.
What up, buddy?
Hey. Okay,
You're
there we
back.
go.
You were
Yeah,
concerned.
everything just crashed for some reason. Y'all were frozen. Everything just turned off. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, we were having a great convo. We were just gonna wait for you.
We were just sharing 76 again, you know.
Just had a great session of just let's bash that game real quick in the commercial.
Which one? Which one?
76. We just
Oh
bashed.
yeah.
We're talking about like this when you did the $200 pre-order and you got
Mhm.
like the swag and stuff. How they promised the bag was going to be made out of like really good quality stuff, and then people got it, and it was like the bag was breaking when they took it out of the bag.
Hmm.
And like I guess the helmet was poorly made as well. Um, yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, no. Going back to Doom Eternal, yeah, I did play that. It was it was good because I played like Doom before, but I I don't know. I just wasn't blown away by it. I think I expected more. There was more hype behind it than there was in the game, and so that's what disappointed me about it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I skipped it. It was Animal Crossing or Doom, and I picked up Animal Crossing.
I started that way too late, and I haven't picked it up in quite a few months now.
But I picked day one Animal Crossing that morning. Went in, picked up my Animal Crossing. 460 hours later, I picked the right game.
Yeah,
It was the right.
I think I picked up Animal Crossing like 2 months or so after it came out. Because at first I
Mhm.
was like, "What is this?" I'd never ever played any of the Animal Crossing games before.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was just like, "You really need to try it." So I was like, "Fine, I'll try it." And yeah, day one I was like, "Uh-oh, this is a mistake."
Yeah.
It's too deep.
You're gonna
I
get
was
addicted.
happily gave my life to that day one. That is the reason I bought a Switch. There were two games, Octopath Traveler and the
Yes.
Animal Crossing. Those were the two games I was like, I'm buying this console for two games, and if I never play anything else, I'm good. And I got those two games, and Animal Crossing came out, and I had way more hours in Animal Crossing than I ever put in Octopath. So I'm
I
like,
actually, I actually bought the got the light because one, everyone in our group chat or our con family group coach wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, so I just had to get it. Also, I wanted to get the the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I still
oh,
have to get. I haven't gotten. I don't know why I
Oh,
haven't.
beautiful game.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the sequel too.
you're
I
gonna lose
know.
hours of your life in that one, bro. I'm gonna let you know now.
Yep.
And I've heard that if you play like the ultimate mode or something like that, you get to experience the open world a lot more. You get to actually have to find things. You're not shown where they are, which is interesting.
I think so because I'm my girlfriend, huge Nintendo fan, right?
Hmm.
Huge Legend of Zelda. Um, she's played Breath of the Wild. She's had 6 different run throughs because she's completed the game, and
Wow,
she's like, I enjoy it that much. I want to do it all again 6 times. And she
damn.
says she's I think halfway through her 6th one, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna try it again because it's just such a beautiful game, and like I'll even like watch her play because I'm just fascinated by it. It's such a beautiful game.
Hmm.
Like they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to knock it. I've had friends that love it. I This is weird when I tell them I've only played one Zelda game in my life before this.
Oh.
I want to say it was Majora's Mask, maybe.
Ooh.
It was one of those where it was like, oh, it's on the DS, and I tried it there,
Yeah.
and I was like, I was never a Legend of Zelda fan. I was always more Final Fantasy guy.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
when I tried it, I was like, oh, this is fun, but it didn't sink me in. Man, the first time I saw Breath of the Wild, I was like, I messed up. I should have just started. That should have been the
It's
one I started.
definitely. I feel like Breath of the Wild is definitely catered more towards adults. You know,
Mhm.
I
it's
can
not
see
like
that. Yeah.
it's not your kids' Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's mommy and
It's not your
daddy's. You know.
granddad's Legend of Zelda. Yeah. The one game I really wish Nintendo would remake is the Donkey Kong 64 and Donkey Kong Country games.
Hmm.
I would love
Yeah.
to play those again on the Switch Lite.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with if they had like graphics like Breath of the Wild or like just any of their games that they've been coming out with.
Because
Beautiful game.
they released the Mario 3D 3 pack or whatever, and
Hmm.
I think I heard them saying that they're going to be remaking Mario 64 or something like that.
Yep.
Ooh.
So yeah, if they were to do that, I wanted to see Donkey Kong 64. I want to see that DK shuffle.
Yeah.
I could see it totally happening. No, seriously, because you think about it, that's Nintendo's basically figured out how to sell us the same game over and over with each console.
Hmm.
That's their thing. And
Mhm.
I gladly go out and buy those
Yeah.
copies over and
And
over.
especially,
Oh yeah.
yeah, especially because if there is people out there willing to pay money for the remake, of course. I mean, they'd be a stupid company not to, you know.
I would love to see. Thinking of remakes, I would love to see them remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it. The original Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. You know, fans would tear that up.
Yeah.
Man, but the new Mario Kart's so much better, man. They can't go backwards after
It's
this.
a lot of fun.
It is. It is
I feel
really
like people
fun.
would, if they did make a remastered version of the original Mario Kart, it would just be for nostalgia purposes. People would just play it
Yeah,
just for nostalgia. Um, but yeah, the new Mario Kart. Oh, I love that game. Like
So
I
good.
like I'll go online with people just all around the world racing them. I'll even do it with my 5-year-old son sometimes, and it's just like he gets good at that game, and I'm like, how are you beating me right now?
it's like curse you, Rainbow Road.
It's all
No, yeah,
party.
Rainbow Road and Bowser's Castle. Fuck
Ooh.
those
I was at a
ones.
party and the youngest person at the party was 30 and they broke out Mario Kart.
Ha.
Hell,
And it was like so weird because there were guys that looked like rappers and then guys that were like anime fans. Like, and we were all jumped together, hey man, we're gonna have 4 controllers, and we were all jumping in to try to jockey for spaces for
that's
that.
the power
And I
of
was like,
Mario Kart.
this is the
It
game, man. You
brings
can't
communities together.
bring us, man. It
Bring
was
no,
so
bring
much
people
fun.
together, breaking friends apart.
Oh yeah,
That's
no.
true. Yeah.
Fuck you, Blue Shell. Fuck you, Blue
Yeah. That shell has ruined more friendships than Monopoly. That's all I'm saying.
So I was playing Mario Kart like a month ago with my girlfriend, and because she was bragging to me. She's like, "Oh, I'm fucking great at this game." She hasn't played it in like years, but she's like, "Oh, I'm great at this game." So I was like, "Okay, like let's go." So it was me and her just playing, and I beat her like 6 out of the 8 times we played. But I swear, I was really worried she's gonna break up with me because the amount of times I blue shelled her ass right before the finish line, I was like, she's gonna either break up with me or kill me, or both.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be
Definitely
one of
both.
those.
Go it now.
Have
Yeah.
you guys have you guys seen the or heard? You guys have heard of Star Wars Squadrons, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen the Hunted CG short for that?
Oh no. No.
Well, first of all, damn, because that's a really good short. Also, it really makes me want a CG animated or just a full-on TV series where where the plot is focused on the Empire in the end days or in the middle of the of the Empire, because that makes you feel for the Empire, for the Imperials. It makes you feel like they're actually human, not actually evil.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like the last Star Wars Battlefront 2 had the story mode in it,
Uh-huh.
and we played as the Empire. We were their elite team of spies, their SEAL team basically.
Yeah.
Then we had the original Star Wars. What was it? The one with Star Killer in it, the very first one from like
Star Wars Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
So every time we get to play the bad guys, the stories are so amazing.
They really are.
they always are really good, and you kind of get hyped to see, oh, well, this is how the Empire started, and this
Mhm.
is how the rebellion started, and there are always these really compelling stories. But then at the same time, you're kind of like, and Droids was a great cartoon, but you could
Yeah.
Disney Plus could just give us an animated series of the
Yeah.
Empire, and I'd still be like, well, I guess I'm watching all this.
I know, and
Actually,
Mandalorian season 2 is supposed to be coming out next month.
oh,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so excited. I'm so excited. Oof. I made sure my Disney Plus subscription was turned on for that. So,
Because what else
yeah,
would you use it for? It's basically the Mando subscription right now.
yeah, pretty
Hey,
much.
until WandaVision starts, and then y'all are gonna watch me disappear on all of you.
Did you see the trailer? Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
Yes,
What
That
is it?
yeah.
looks awesome.
The WandaVision trailer is.
It's
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Okay.
yeah,
I've picked it apart. I've
Yeah.
watched it so many times, and I've watched at least 7 different people. Hey, did you catch these Easter eggs? And I'm like, well, what about these? Like, I've picked that trailer apart.
all right. Break it down
This
for us, Coach.
The things that I liked about the trailer is we're definitely looking with 2 things. My favorite 2 things. Number 1 and number 2. Wanda in her Scarlet Witch outfit for the Halloween
Yes,
episode. Vision in his original green and yellow outfit. That's also part
great
of the Halloween
great
episode.
fan service.
Oh my god, I lost it when I saw those. Um, I also the part where they have the twins, so we already kind of realized, oh my god, they're paying attention to the whole thing. The fact that they're going to draw heavy from the House of M,
Hmm.
which, if you guys know, to me, that's how we're going to get the mutants in the MCU. I
Yeah.
I think the series is going to lead us to Doctor Strange, is the multiverse movie.
Yeah, that's supposed to tie into the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, they're pulling heavy from the House of M in this, and Morgana, the one that was kind of pulling Wanda's strings,
Hmm.
Mhm.
the old witch that was in the purple, that was her. That was in the car when she told Vision, "Am I dead?" That's her. And then when I realized it was her, and I was like, "Wait a minute, she was wearing the purple. Oh my God, that's her. There's hints of purple on." So it was like I'm geeking out. Like I was just going crazy watching this, and I was like, "But wait a minute, are they going to bring Quicksilver back? Is she going to bring her brother back? Because
Maybe.
she brings Vision back, and Vision somehow figured out a way to break free of this pocket multiverse she's created." So I'm like, okay, so you're going to give us Vision, and they could bring back Quicksilver, who I thought was an amazing character. I
I
don't
actually
want to ever
liked him.
lose
He was a really
Quicksilver.
good character.
So it was like, man, I'm super geeked for this thing, man. And every time I go back, I'll find something new in it, and I keep going, okay, so they're going to address this. And I think the thing with House of M was where she basically snapped out of that depression, and she wiped out all the mutants, man. She was
Hmm.
like a handful of mutants left. So to see them, if they're going to address that and then bring all of them back, we could get all the mutants in this MCU universe. Oh man. Oh man. I just want a proper X-Men movie. Am I asking for too much saying give me
No.
an MCU X-Men movie as good as the Avengers? That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what sucks about the the final Fox X Men movie was that at the end of Apocalypse, they even teased us at the end scene with all the X Men in their more or less comic costumes.
Hmm.
You had Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Quicksilver, and all of them.
Yeah.
You had them in their costumes, and then in what Dark Phoenix, they just went back to leather, leather
Yeah.
bondage outfits.
I'm so done with that, man. I want just a quality X-Men film. That's all I want.
Hmm.
I'm not asking for much. Give me that like you gave me the Avengers, and I'll be quiet.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And also, Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
That would be fucking funny. He
Bro,
kind of has a hair already. I mean, he's missing this part, but he's,
He's
he can do
short.
that.
That's what
Yes.
counts.
I would do like that Danny DeVito meme from the It's Always Sunny, where he's like,
Yeah.
no, that's all you're gonna get from me on that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, stop.
Now I
I
kind of want to see Danny DeVito cosplay as Wolverine, like just with his shirt off and like his what hair he has here, just like bring out.
First of all, I
Abs
do want to
on
see
him.
that. Okay, I do want to see that. I did not even know I wanted to see that until you said it, but now I want to see that.
I think he's the type of goof who would actually do that.
He fucking would, yeah,
He
he
would.
would.
Oh
Do
yeah,
it.
totally.
Yeah, I'm also sad that Falcon Winter Soldier doesn't come out till next year. I was really looking forward to that.
I just found out today the Captain America comic book that I bought when they rebooted it, and it was Captain America Hydra.
Oh yeah.
That first, I bought 2 issues, two of the number 1 issues. I bought one to read and one to bag and tag, and found out they're selling for 90 on eBay, and I was like,
Ooh.
oh, the one time this paid off for me. So,
Well, damn.
yeah, like, do I flip this now or do I wait till the show starts and everybody's real hyped and see if it goes up and flip it then? But yeah, no, just found that out today. I was real excited about that. So
That's dope. That's dope. Um. So another big news bit that happened this past week, I think today or yesterday, is that Netflix canceled the Dark Crystal TV show after one season. They're
Yeah, literally, they canceled it, or they announced the cancel a day after it won an Emmy.
yeah. It's I haven't seen it. I'll start this by saying I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but great things, and that the ending set up a second season. So Netflix canceling this big show does not make any sense at all.
So I think because I did a little bit of research on it, and basically, like I watched the series because I watched the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with that, and then I watched, Age of Resistance, and it just brought back so much nostalgia for me, and I was like, fuck yeah, like this is it, because they did everything, no CGI, it was all puppetry, and they built all of the stage and sets all themselves. And basically what it was is that they spent a lot of time and a lot of money making these sets, these puppets, and all that. And even though it went really good, apparently Netflix's reason for not continuing it is because it didn't get as much views as they were expecting. So they were like, they weighed the views of what it got, and they weighed how much money and time was spent making it, and then they're like, it's not worth it. Which really sucks, because I would have loved a season 2.
Yeah, and this is where I have a big problem with Netflix, and where I say they are screwing themselves. I know you mentioned, Coach, that they're not screwed financially. They're obviously not screwed financially, but in the long term with fan bases, they're definitely screwed, because you see this with anime on Netflix all the time. Netflix has a very big problem with binge culture, and everyone has a big problem, or every streaming service has a big problem with binge culture. Netflix needs to get on the fucking week by week train for new series. I am absolutely fine with them releasing series that have already been shown on TV, like NCIS, Lucifer, and all that. Binge that all you want, but shows that are currently being aired, stuff like that, anime, they need to be streamed week by week. They need to be released week by week, because if you if you release the entire series in one drop, people will binge that and move on to the next thing. There'll be no gradual suspense, no gradual hype for the series, and you won't grow the fan base that you're wanting to grow for your Netflix original series, in my opinion.
Exactly. And I think touching on that, Josh, with Disney Plus and how they did with The Mandalorian, I thought that was perfect.
As
Every single
also
week, a
with
new episode.
Amazon and The Boys, they're releasing that week to week as well.
Yeah, I love
Season
that.
one, they did not, though.
Season
Season
one
one
they
was a
did
total
not.
drop.
Yeah.
Season two, they made it week to week.
That
Yeah.
was
But
the director's decision to release it week by week after the first few
I think,
episodes.
I think they're learning from that. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, we're seeing a pattern when we drop something right away. People just watch it. People will finish a whole season within a day, if they can.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, I'm done with that. Like, what next?
Move on. Because no one's
What?
talking about it.
Let's be real. So Netflix is not in the business of building fandoms. That's
No,
just not their
absolutely not.
business model. They created binge culture.
Yes.
That is really their key. And the thing is, I fell into a trap where I'll binge something, and I don't know if you guys do this, but you ever been watching something and you're doing this the whole time?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I do that all the time.
And so I did that, and a buddy of mine was telling me, hey, did you see that twist at the end of this episode? And I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was just one of the kung fu shows. It wasn't the Warrior Nun show, but we were watching this show, and I said, what? And he said, yeah, in the first episode, there was a twist ending. And I was like,
Cobra
what?
Kai?
Oh, no, it wasn't that one. It was like this real cheesy kung fu action flick that it was a series in season one that was on there. And I was probably still in my watch list, but I remember going through it and watching. I had to go back without my phone and watch the episode again. And there it was in the very end. There was this montage, and there it was this twist at the end that you're like, how did I miss that? And so Netflix, you have to be deliberate in how you watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to really enjoy it and take your time with it, you have that option. Most of my friends that I talk to that are heavy Netflix watchers, they want it all right there. Like, I personally don't rush through shows anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I might do 3 or 4, take a break, watch 3 or 4 more the next day, take a break. I don't rush through shows anymore. I really want to learn to enjoy things and let it marinate and let me work through the story. So
Yeah, like
that-
with the Transformers War for Cybertron series. I did a reaction series for that and did it week for week, and I honestly enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it a lot better than I would have if I had rushed through it.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty decent show. So yeah, it's
And I feel like with certain shows, you can drop all that at once. Like you said, Josh. With shows that have been on TV, like Supernatural's
Yeah.
been on fucking TV for years, right? Drop all that shit at once because there's so many seasons and so many episodes. That's actually one of the ones I'll watch. I'll just put it on in the background. I've seen it all already. I know what happens. I'll just put it on as background noise. But and like with like the Netflix documentaries like Tiger King and like How to Make a Murder and stuff, that's also good because it leaves you at the end guessing like, oh shit, what's happening next? So you're anticipating like the second season or something.
yeah,
Or
or
but yeah,
stuff like Cobra Kai.
like I was really hoping when Witcher came out, they released it week by week, not all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, still a great, fantastic show. One of
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite shows, but
still a fantastic show.
I was still I was worried because I was like, oh man, like people are gonna binge this all at once and then forget about it, and then they're gonna be like, oh, no one's watching it anymore, so let's just cancel it,
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like there are certain shows you can drop all at once. There's other ones that need to have a slow release,
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
something Netflix won't ever take a look at, but they very much really need to.
But here's what's so weird
Actually,
about that.
19 other shows.
They're doing it with their Korean dramas, and I don't know how much you guys watch Korean dramas on there,
I need
but
to watch more.
there a lot of the Korean dramas on Netflix are getting those week to week releases.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, but it's such a weird flex because you'll watch those and be like, "Well, I know it can work, but I am probably in the small majority. There's a little small minority of people watching week to week shows, and especially Korean dramas.
Yeah.
But they do keep throwing money at it, so maybe it's more than just a small minority. I mean,
Well, if you say they're doing that, maybe they're just testing the waters to see if people actually stick around for it.
they might because they canceled like Dark Crystal. I think was the biggest
Yeah, they've
nerd
canceled a
entry,
lot of stuff.
but Altered Carbon had
Oh
built
yeah,
up a massive
Yeah,
fan base.
they're
Uh,
canceling that as well, or they cancelled
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Uh,
they killed off so much in that, and it was just like when you lose the Dark Crystal, you lost the what was that other show, the Altered Carbon, you lost the new one. I'm not okay with this was also part of that. The biggest one I thought that shocked me was the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina after
yeah, that's
four
only getting
yeah.
one
seasons.
more season, and then they're fucking doing it. I'm like,
It's like
excuse me?
also it sucks because if you end a season on a cliffhanger or a big thriller surprise and you cancel it right after, you're going to turn off anyone who had any interest in
Yeah,
possibly watching the series.
There is a
yeah,
show right now, and I can't. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. Debbie Ryan had a show
Hmm.
on Netflix. Um, I
Good old Texas
cannot,
Girl.
bro. Yeah, this show was hilarious, and it was petty, insatiable, and it was, bro. That show was like over the top. Just why is this not on HBO?
Uh,
But it was on Netflix, and they gave us 2 seasons, I think, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like, wait, what?
yeah,
That's what we're doing? Can we get just season 3 just to wrap it up? Give them one season to wrap it up.
yeah.
I mean, we're still watching 13 Reasons Why, and it's on. I
God.
don't even know what season that's on anymore.
Oh, the first
I,
season was
I've,
so
I've,
bad
I've
too.
never seen 13 Reasons Why. I've never wanted to.
Don't watch it.
Someone told me to stop.
It's glorifying
Yeah,
suicide.
I
someone told me to
disagree
stop.
100%, but I did watch season 1. I don't think it glorifies it, but I don't think people actually had an idea of how bad suicide's ugly, and I've lost a lot of friends to it. As a comedian, it just depression and drugs kind of hangs around comedies.
Hmm.
So I know a lot of comedians that have had issues. I think that 13 Reasons Why told a harrowing story about the abuse of rape and drug use among high school students. I mean, I think it's real.
Yeah.
Having raised 5 girls and 2 boys, high school is not what it used to be when I went. It's not what
True.
it used to be when you went. It's definitely way more stressful of environment, and there's um, way more access to illicit stuff, man, now
Hmm.
than we even had. So it's hard, but that suicide scene, they don't cut away from it. It is hard to watch.
Yeah.
It is like,
Really.
whoa, they really just showed that, and it was a hard the rape
That
scene
was
in
that was
season 1 was,
probably second worst.
yeah, that was
No, I think I actually remember seeing like news stories and stuff about that scene, and like actually both those scenes
Yeah,
in the
they showed that
where
too.
yeah.
people actually were trying to get the show cancelled because a lot of either suicide survivors or rape survivors were literally had flashbacks of their trauma,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and like a lot of them were just like from what I read on a lot of the news reports, a lot of them were throwing up because it just was such a trauma to them and stuff, and
it
like
was.
others were just like shaking and like just like having severe flashbacks. They were trying to get that show cancelled because of just how real it was, and I totally get. I think I get why Netflix wanted to include those scenes just to let people know, hey, this shit is real. It does happen. No one's saying it doesn't, but it's like you
Yeah.
also have to be mindful of people who have gone through those experiences that they could be watching this as well, and
Oh yeah.
you not cutting away from that. Because I mean, I've seen plenty of TV shows and movies where a rape or a suicide or a murder was what's the word?
Implied. You know it
Implied.
took place off screen,
Yeah,
but you don't want
Yeah.
to
yeah.
see.
It was implied, and you got the severity of it. At least when I watched it, I got the severity of those scenes. I didn't need to be shown everything.
Yeah, this
Um,
one did not shy away. It hurt, like, as a dad, it hurt me emotionally. Like, I was shook up for days after
yeah,
I watched the rape scene because
yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I have 5 girls, and unfortunately, one of my girls was raped. So it was hard for me to watch that scene,
Hmm.
and they don't cut away from it. And then season 2, you know, it was a book. It was one book. They've stretched it into a series, and it's a murder mystery now. You're like, oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's a series. Like, I think they're on season 3 or 4. I don't know. I didn't do any more after that.
Mm.
Season 1 broke me. I saw my watch list. I want to go see what happens with season 2 because the guy I want them to get, they're finally going to take him to court. I want to see that because he tore my feelings out in season 1. I want him to pay for his crimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's been hard to go back to it, man. I'll just be real with you.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is. It's tough, but it was. I think it needed this. I think a lot of times we need these discussions to take place. So
Right.
I get Netflix thinking, but at the same time, it was a hard watch for me. And I'm 49, and that's a hard watch
They
for
have
me at
any?
49.
Did they have any warnings? Because
Yes,
I've never seen
every
the show.
one of those episodes told, "Hey, this episode is going to contain a very graphic
Oh,
depiction of a rape. This one claims."
oh,
Like, there were massive warnings, and like, I'm not talking like the little warning where it sits up on the screen
yeah.
and then it
It's
goes
like
away. It
in your
stuck
face.
there, and it gave you time to say, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to skip over this episode.
Hmm.
I'm
And
glad they did that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were there from the I watched it in seasons. So that season 1, both of those episodes warned you, you may want to skip to the next one.
Yeah.
You may not want to watch this one. We skip over this. You can skip this entire scene if you want to, or you can skip this whole episode. And each one of those, I think people stayed with it, even with the warnings, thinking, how bad can it be? And they were like very explicit at the very, like, this
Yeah.
is going to be explicit. Don't watch this. And it's still, I stuck with it. And even I stuck with it. I still kind of was like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I probably should have skipped over these because it troubled me. It was one of those things like for days after watching it, it was still leaning on me emotionally,
Yeah.
just kind of sitting right here. And you're like, I could have lived without that. I
Yeah.
could have lived without that whole episode, but I watched it. It told a very interesting story. I think the story needed to be told. But flip side of that coin, let's talk about the show Cuties that they're getting killed
Oh
for.
God. Is it a show or a movie?
So it's a movie.
Yeah.
I just read a thing in the Washington Post from the director, and the reason I brought it up is she was telling the story about how she went to this event and she saw these little girls dancing seductively, and she was like, every adult in there is like uncomfortable with this, and she's like, "What is going on? Why is nobody telling these girls?" These prepubescent girls that you're dancing a little too suggestively and we're not comfortable with it.
Hmm.
So she started interviewing the girls, these dance teams. And she said when she started interviewing the girls on the dance teams, she started finding out little girls now growing up with music videos, they have cell
Cardi B,
yeah,
Nicki Minaj,
yeah,
stuff
they
like
got
that.
way more access to porn already in 4th grade than you ever had. All right, these kids can just go put it in a browser on a phone, unobserved, and
Hmm.
watch this stuff. And every music video, every boy band has the girls dancing in sync in the back. Every rap, you've seen it all before.
And it's scary.
Sex sales, yeah, commercials. The girls sexy, and the herbal essence back in the day, the moaning just to wash your hair. Sex sells, and so these little girls are seeing this, and nobody's pulling them to the side saying, "Hey, you got to understand your sexuality and your burgeoning womanhood." Nobody's pulling them to the side to explain it. So they're just mimicking what they're seeing.
Hmm.
Like it's okay because that's what we just saw here. And nobody's coming out and going, it's not okay for you to do this. So the director said she wanted to make a movie that addressed that, but that's not what people perceived about it. They basically thought Netflix is selling us child pornography. And she's like,
Oh, see,
nobody watched it.
Netflix. and that's the whole thing. Netflix just said they're launching this movie and what it's about. They didn't explain the director's point of view. They just said,
at
"Oh,
all.
this is about 11-year-old girls twerking and stuff."
Yeah, that
The
was it.
That,
And I saw the
the
trailer and I was like, okay, this is weird. What is this? But I had to go read more to find out the story that was behind the movie and from
yeah,
the director. And I said, well, man, you know what you should have done? You should have just gave us a documentary
yeah,
about you interviewing these girls and then made a movie based on the documentary. And I would have probably been way more comfortable
the
with that.
poster didn't help any matters either.
No, it did not, man. This is one of those
Netflix knew what they were doing.
oh
but
yeah,
yeah, here's the thing. They lost subscriptions, but they gained so many subscriptions and
Hmm.
so many people watched it. That's what's disturbing to me is how many people are saying, "Oh, this is disgusting," but it got watches. Like
yeah, and I
it
think
was a
that
success for them. Yeah.
they dropped it or they announced this movie right in the middle of the whole "Save Our Children" thing, trending thing on
Yeah.
Facebook and social media. That's a if I was like in charge of marketing or something for Netflix, I'm like,
You'd
no,
be
we're not
fired.
releasing this
Yeah.
yet. We're not, no, not right in the middle of this shit because we're trying to fight pedophilia from being legalized and stuff. You don't drop a movie like that right in the middle of that
Oh
because
yeah.
that's going to create so much controversy. Like you said, a lot of people just looked at the poster and assumed, oh my God, this is a pedophilic
That,
movie, you know?
Mothers were
And like you
livid.
said, they lost a lot of subscriptions, but they gained a lot of subscriptions as well.
they
So
made
there are
so
sick
much.
fucks out there that are like, oh yeah, this is a movie for me, you know. And it's like,
I think also it's that thing. It's like when people are in their living room, they're like, "Hey, nobody's going to see if we watch this," and they were just curious. They were like, "What the hell is this uproar? What is everybody talking about?" I have yet to watch it. I'll be honest with you. I have
Yeah, I
granddaughters.
haven't either.
I don't want to see it. Okay,
trying to
because
watch it.
I don't want to see it. But at the same time, reading the director's words and understanding where she was coming from, I was like, you should have made a documentary. That was the first thing that popped up. I would love to watch a documentary where we're getting into the minds of these little girls that are
Mm.
really doing this and
And
somebody's
then
trying to
tackling the
stop them. Yeah. Tackle this.
tackling the issues of the media and the role models that they're exposed to nowadays.
Yes.
God,
Because
yeah.
when we were younger, we had like what Britney Spears and
Hmm.
like
Christina
stuff like that.
Aguilera. We had Madonna's been controversial since I was a young man.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like now we've got Nicki Minaj literally dropping an album called Wet Ass Pussy, and it's literally blasting on every radio
Miley
station,
Cyrus, all that.
streaming
Yeah.
platforms. They even made a kid bop version of it.
Really?
Bro, I was sitting there like they're not gonna do it. There's no way they're gonna make a kids bop version of this. There's no
Wow.
way they're gonna do it.
And I'm like, you don't. That's like the one song you don't make a kid's bop version. I don't want like if I ever had like a little girl or anything like that, I don't want her singing that song. You know, walking down the street. Like fuck no. Like mm-mm.
No, no. And I'm like, here, I can't. And I told everybody, I said, man, nasty songs have been around for a while. I grew up with Two Live Crew. I remember that when they dropped their album, and we all know what that was called. And we probably everybody here knows the lyrics to at least one Two Live Crew song. So I was like, I was just shocked. Too Short did it, you know. So it was kind of one of those things. Like I've heard dirty songs, even back in the days of rock. You know, what was his name? Cat Scratch Fever, Ted Nugent. I know what these songs are about, but at the same time, I don't want my grandchild singing this song to me. I never
Hmm.
want to catch my granddaughter singing this. We're gonna have a fight, okay?
Yeah.
I love my daughters; they're great moms. If I ever catch my granddaughter singing this song, we're fighting right where I find you. Okay, just get ready to throw hands with Grandpa. So,
And I think it's also a thing now to where at least I've noticed. I don't really listen to the radio anymore, but like every time I do now, they're a lot less censored than they used to be, at least
Oh
from
yeah.
what I
Oh
know.
yeah.
Because
way less.
they can say like bitch, shit. Some of them even say fuck over the radio station now. And I'm like, where's the bleeping? Like
Yeah, they
I'm
get
like,
away with a lot more, man, than they used to. Way more
yeah.
than they used to.
And so like because I remember like yeah, listening to like explicit songs on the radio when I was growing up, they either bleep the song or they had like an alternate word for whatever that word was.
Hmm.
Um, you didn't hear the actual cuss word, you
Or
know.
Yeah,
or an
there
alternate
was
song.
always a
Yeah.
radio-friendly edit
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
every song. What messed me up was the other day I was listening to that, and it was what was the radio? Oh no, we were watching TV. American Dad and Family Guy. I remember the first time those shows ran, they bleeped out the curse words, and then the
Mhm.
next time I'm watching it, I think it was on TBS, and then the next time it was on Adult Swim, and they didn't bleep them, and I was like, wait a minute, they can say those words on. I know this is cable, but they still used to bleep these words on Adult Swim. Not
Yep.
anymore. So I'm like, okay, I guess the rules are slack now. I guess we can drop a F bomb
Yeah.
after 11 p.m. Central.
Well, yeah. Sometimes bleeping a swear word on Adult Swim is fun. It can be funny. Sometimes they just want to go full swear word. But yeah, yeah. It's like the world is a lot scarier nowadays.
Mm.
Yeah,
And they definitely, I feel like it's been more, they're trying to desensitize everyone to everything. So they're incorporating all these uncensored like radio stations or like um, not limiting who can watch what or like on browsers
Hmm.
or like what they can listen to because they're just trying to make you desensitized to it. And it's
Yeah.
like it's not a good thing, especially if you got little ass girls listening to songs like WAP and watching because that's even the music video itself is like fucking dirty. Like the dance and stuff they're doing, um, like they're just exposed to that, and in
TikTok.
their mind they're thinking, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool to do. That's what's in now. I can do that. You know.
I mean, it's every girl. I look. I don't know how many white women I've watched on TikTok in the last couple of weeks. You know, even on Instagram, their videos now meme on Instagram because they did a dance to it on TikTok, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of women dancing to this song, man, every week on TikTok. And some of them turn into memes. They're, chasing that internet clout. So,
Yep.
bro, it's a weird society, man, where people are like, yeah, I could have had morals, but I also know I could get a sugar daddy and get some internet clout. So that's the world we live in, bro. And I
It's
wish I could get a sugar daddy and some internet clout. I need those things. I'm a grown man. Okay, I need that help.
broke ass man.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think Netflix should be stepping up their game on a lot of things.
Should be more aware of social commentary right now.
Social commentary, they should be honestly, I think they should be more aware of their fan base because they're clearly not that aware of their fan base if they're getting rid of good ass shows
Yeah.
because they didn't hit what they predicted. Like, okay, maybe the first season didn't do that well. Doesn't mean the second season won't do like even better, you know? Because I've seen shows before where the first season sucked dick, you know?
Yeah.
And I was
Same here.
like, this isn't good. But then the second season, I was like, wow, they've actually really improved, like, you know? And that's what led me to continue watching these shows, you know? Um, so yeah, Netflix definitely needs to like take a long, hard look in the mirror at
But
itself and realize, hey, you know, we're kind of fucking up right now. Even though we have all this money, you know, that money ain't gonna be there forever. It's gonna dry up sooner or later.
yeah,
Um,
they definitely don't build fan bases. I think Amazon Prime has done a better job at that than
Oh yeah,
anybody.
definitely.
Amazon, like, gave us. I remember the one year at the Emmys where Amazon basically cleaned up with like Fleabag and um, the Fabulous Miss Maisel. They cleaned up, and it was all these shows that nobody else took a chance on, and Amazon was like, "Give them to
Give
us.
them
We
us.
want
Yeah.
them." And they built those fan bases of these quirky shows that work. And Hulu was doing a lot of stuff with animation, like animation domination shows that
Hmm.
couldn't get picked up anywhere else. They gave us 3 or 4 seasons of Mike Tyson's Mysteries on Hulu,
That they
where
did.
it was nowhere else. Um, so
And they're redoing doing the reboot of the Animaniacs.
they are.
oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so I mean Hulu, I think a lot of the other ones are at a point where they're running behind Netflix. So they're trying to play, hey, what are we going to do to play catch up? And I think the way it's not to play catch up is to take these shows that have proven they're worth saving and then invest in them and give them a chance to be seen and an opportunity. I, I didn't think Sabrina would ever get canceled after 4 seasons. I didn't see it. I just could not fathom they're going to get rid of this show, which is killing it. And we were seeing the cosplays, and it was affecting social media, like pop
It's one of my
culture
favorite things
phenomenon.
about Halloween. It's like literally, during like the spooky season and everything, I will just binge watch Sabrina. Even if I've seen the other seasons, I'll binge watch the whole thing and watch the new season. It's become a tradition for me, and so I'm really upset that they're canceling it.
Yeah, no, it made no
whatever.
sense to me. I couldn't understand that one.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of other series they could have canceled, just not this. It's too
Right.
much.
Yeah, no, I was definitely upset with that one. And man, they got some great shows, but then again, at other times I just sit there and go, okay, that's a great show and that deserved to pass, but this is also a great show. Now I understood with like when they lost the Marvel shows, that was more that Marvel was like, hey, we're pulling our stuff.
Hmm.
There was something behind the scenes in those, but I still think that I hated seeing Luke Cage and Jessica Jones leave. And Daredevil was good, and
I love
Punisher
I
season 2
loved
wasn't as
Luke
good as
Cage.
Punisher 1, but God, it was so good.
I loved
Daredevil.
Luke.
Daredevil's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard.
I
I've,
hated those.
I've heard. I've heard rumors that there are talks that they would bring those over to like the FXX family or something like that.
Hmm.
I
If
can live
not
with
Disney
that.
Plus. Yeah, but yeah.
I just want them to come back. I don't want to see Altered Carbon leave either, but it's gone.
So, and speaking on Dark Crystal, real quick, I did read something that they since the season finale did leave on like a cliffhanger type thing. Um, they are there's like two possibilities. Either Netflix does come out with the second season and it just ties everything up, you know, or they shop around for other companies that would want to continue
Because here's the big
Dark.
kicker: Netflix doesn't own the rights to the series. They just own the
Yeah,
producing,
the
or
Jim
they just own the
Henderson, right? Or
distributing rights. It's the Henson company that still
Henson,
owns
yeah,
the
Jim Henson.
actual full-on rights. So if they want to go somewhere else, say Disney Plus, which is actually would make a lot more sense because the Muppets and Sesame
Yeah,
Street
it would
are over there
actually.
as well.
Yeah.
Why not go over there? I'd be fine with that.
HBO
I'd,
HBO
I'd,
Max has also got a home.
they could go to HBO Max too.
HBO Max is in the business of shopping, and they're killing the game right now. So I wouldn't even mind seeing them go to those.
Mhm.
I kind of want to get an HBO Max subscription just to see that Lovecraftian
Do it,
show
man.
that's out.
It's Lovecraft Country is one of their best original series that I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
All their original series are more or less great, but
Yeah,
it's Lovecraft Country ties in because I've never read the book. Lovecraft Country ties in the Lovecraftian monsters and horror aspect of that with the utter disgusting racism of the 1900s, and
oh, bro,
perfectly,
it
perfect.
works on, and Lovecraft himself
Was
was a
a
racist, and
Yeah.
horrible
so
human being.
this title works on so many
Oh yeah,
levels, and the show is working on so many
oh
levels
yeah.
because
It's a
Lovecraft always talked about the creatures you can't see,
mm-hmm.
and racism is a creature you can't always see, and how it can be horrific. This show is mind blowing me
It's
every week. You're
terrifying.
just like, what is going on? What is going on? It's
I still haven't seen the past season one, but the first season or past episode one, but the first episode, I held my breath for quite a few scenes. It was like, go away, get away, get away, get away, get away, get away, get away,
yeah.
get away, get away. White man's the
That,
devil, man. White man's the devil.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this though, man. After watching what HBO is, HBO has the habit that I wish all networks had. We're gonna get great storytellers and put them together, and then get out of their way and let them tell us those stories.
Yes,
And
especially
that
with that's
Watchmen,
mhm.
bro, after watching it clean up at the Emmys last weekend, the Watchmen series deserved everything it won because every week as a comic book fan, they gave me so much fan service to the original series. But they told this story that I was like,
I've
I
heard
didn't see
nothing
this
but great
coming.
things about it.
Oh man, it bro, I'll be honest with you guys. Blew my mind every week. Every episode was phenomenal. And then to watch it clean up like it did. And he said they were like, "Hey, is there going to be a season 2?" And he went, "I've already told the story I wanted to tell. What else could I tell you? That's better than
Exactly.
what we just did. I ended it where it needed to end. It's all resolved. What would I do?" And
And
I was like, "You blew my mind. I've never seen a show end, and you're like, oh, there's the ending, but I want
see,
more. I don't want this to end."
series don't have to have multiple seasons. You can tell your entire story in one season.
You just
it,
have
it
to make it a good fucking season.
Yeah.
Like you can't
bro.
shut down. You can't leave people guessing. You
Hmm.
know, like
Oh,
Just
get
bro.
don't end your series on a cliffhanger.
right.
Never,
Never.
never,
Unless it's the
never end on the cliffhanger.
Harry Potter series.
Oh yeah.
Because, dude, I'm very much the what is it, the 20th anniversary or something like that. Some anniversary is coming up, and you know that Warner Brothers is going to remake the Harry Potter series, and I really hope that they do a full-on television series where
Oh, I fucking
they
yeah.
fully adapt every single book, because there is
Yeah.
so much more to those stories than what we got in the movies, which are fantastic, fantastic movies, but
I prefer the books.
the books are so much better.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah. No,
realize that.
I would televised version of Harry Potter. You know,
Hmm.
and it just go really in depth with the world and even like explore parts of the Hogwarts that were in the books, but you never fucking heard about them in the movies or anything. And like characters like
Peeves.
Peeves, I
Yeah.
would have fucking loved to see Peeves, and Winky as well, the
Oh yeah,
female
Winky.
house elf. Yeah, I would have loved to see that as well. Like,
I get that Hogwarts Legacy game that they
I'm
showed
looking
us for the
forward to
PS5, and
that.
I was like, I'm buying this.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
know
looking
about
forward to that.
anybody else. I'm buying this.
so I'm
I was
literally buying
hyped.
the PS5 just so I can buy the Harry Potter game, the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
And fuck, there's another game coming out that it's just PS. Oh, it's the fuck, what's the new one?
Horizon. Is it Horizon
It's
or
not.
God of War?
No, it's also. I mean, yeah, obviously now two more to my list, but it's the one that's out now for PlayStation 4. It's the Ghost of
Oh,
Ghost of Tsushima.
yes. So I've heard fucking great
I've
things about that.
heard beautiful things about that game.
yep.
Yeah,
And then
that's the
we're
only
still
reason
going
I
to get
want to
the
buy a
Tokyo
PlayStation 5,
Ghostwire.
just for those
Hmm.
handful of games. That's it.
It's always for the exclusives. I'm not buying it because everything else I can play on PC, but it's the
Yeah.
exclusives. Like when
Yeah.
I know Persona 6 is going to be on a PS5, and that's never going to go anywhere else. I mean,
Oh, also, Persona 5, the animation is on Funimation. If you guys haven't already seen that,
It
yes.
is.
they just dropped it, so that's. Wasn't sure if you guys knew about that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, man. Look, I'm addicted. A lot of my hours of my life went into Persona 5, so I'm in everything Persona 5 happens, I'm on it. It's like I lost so many hours. I don't care. I'll give them all again. So that's how I am when it comes to Persona. If Persona 6 goes to PS5, I'll be like, day one, here's my reserve. I'm gonna pay it all off. Just tell me when I can come pick up my copy of the game. I'm ready. Here's another 120 hours I don't need of this life.
Hmm.
Right. I even told my girlfriend we're buying two PlayStation 5s, one for me, one for her. Because I told her I don't want us fighting over which games we're playing, like on one console. Like,
Yeah.
you can have one, I'll have one,
I feel
and we
that.
can just play our games.
I feel that. I'm still going to wait a year or two for getting the PS5 just cuz the games that I really want to play the new Horizon game as well as Miles Morales are also going to be on PS4. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's
I'm
true,
going
yeah.
to I'm fine waiting a year or two. That's what I did for the PS3. I waited a couple years to get that.
Oh, bro, I totally was not going to buy one at launch. I wanted one for my 50th birthday in February. It's going to be my 50th birthday gift to myself. And the things that settled me in were I've always played Final Fantasy on a PlayStation console. And even though I've played like 13 and I went back and played a lot of them on PC,
Hmm.
always play them on a PlayStation console. So when I saw 16, I was like, okay, that's coming to PC. And it's probably going to look better on my PC. But I'm so used to playing on a PlayStation console that it's almost like I don't even want to cheat on PlayStation with that game. I just want to play it first, get my platinum trophy over here, then I'll go play it on PC. Um, but then it's also games like God of War. I know Ragnarok's a 2021 title.
Oh yeah.
Demon Souls, I played it when it first came out on PS3. I'm not going back to it. That's why I never bought a Dark Souls game. I started with Demon Souls, which was
Mm,
harder than the first Dark Souls, and it was less forgiving. And I learned, hey, I play games to relax, not to be this mad.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's why
no,
I love playing
that
Minecraft.
game broke me. That
Yeah,
game
Oh, it
broke
broke
me.
a lot of people, my friend.
I really wish that Sony um, would get into the business of letting their games be playable on PC a lot more because they have the app PC Now or PS Now, but
Yeah,
that doesn't have very many games that you would want to play. It has the Last of Us remastered. It had Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game, which I love, and they took that off for some reason. I'm still pissed about that, but yeah, they have games. They just don't have their entire catalog like Xbox does with the Game
They're
Pass.
they're doing something totally weird with their stuff. Like I don't know if you're paying attention, but like they gave us Horizon Zero Dawn and Death Stranding, which were both console exclusives for
Hmm.
the PS4, but they're now available on PC.
Yeah.
So Persona 4, which was exclusive to the Vita, hit PC earlier this year, and it sold like crazy to the point where Atlas is like, "Hey, it did so well. We're looking at our library to see what else we think should come to PC."
Hmm.
So I think Sony has done a really great job at being the place where you got a lot of the cult favorite JRPGs
Yeah.
and locking them up. And then I think Atlas is like, bro, we could be printing money if we didn't do this, if we didn't give this exclusive to these guys. But Sony pays through the nose to get those things exclusive. I don't know if we will ever see Persona 5 Royal hit PC. I would
Probably not.
love it.
Maybe.
I would buy it again. I would buy it again and drop another like 120 easy.
I have.
I just like
I
the
got
series so
Persona
much.
4 Golden.
Yeah, bro, I got the Vita copy and the PC, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna lose my life to it again. It's just one of those weird things where those games are so almost the same way his girlfriend is about Legend of Zelda is how I am about Persona. That's just really. At first, when you were saying that, I said I relate to that on a spiritual level.
Hmm.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, those games. I love it when a game can just bring you back and back and back so many times. Like even if you haven't played it in like a year or more, you pick it up again and you're like, it just hits you and you get back into that. I want to say it's like that childlike excitement for
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
game, even though you know how the game goes and everything, you're just excited to play
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know, and so yeah, that's what I love about certain games, especially if they're made really fucking well. Like The Witcher 3, right?
Yeah.
I've played that game 5 times already, and I'm on my sixth run actually now doing it on the Switch. Um, and I just have so much fun with the game. I don't think I could ever be bored with it, you know. So I definitely understand, yeah, your Persona obsession, her Legend of Zelda obsession. Yeah,
Just
yeah, it
reeled me
reels you
right
in.
on.
Yep, yeah.
So
Um.
yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Here's a question. Um. How far do you guys think we'll get into 2021 until we're fully back in theaters, like large groups of people getting together, going to the theater every weekend?
I am a big movie buff, and I think you guys, well, you knew that, Josh.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say probably March or May.
March or May.
March or May. I think realistically, I went and watched Tenet last week,
Oh, you watching in
and it
theaters?
yeah, and it was just me and my buddy. We went to a 5:30 showing. We were the only two people that showed. The girl told us when we got there. I was like, "Hey, how many people do you think is going to show up?" She went, "You two. There's nobody else coming." And I was like, "We were buying for a 5:35 showing, and we got there early." And she said, "I'll pay you the money back for both of these tickets if anybody else shows up." I'm
Really? Wow.
He said, "I'm pretty sure it's going to be you guys." And 2.5 hour film, we were the only guys in the theater, and we bought all the snacks. We put two chairs in the top in the middle with two seats between us, and I stood up and shot a video where I spun the whole way around in a circle in the theater and nobody's in there. And we were goofing off. It was amazing. I got to a point where I had to use the restroom and I almost wanted to tell them, "Hey, can y'all pause this real quick?" Because it was nobody going to be
I mean,
disturbed.
she probably would have
Yeah,
done it too.
hey, just pause this real quick. I got to go pee. I just wanted to do it because nobody else was in there. Uh, but man, it was such an amazing film, man, and it was just so nice to be in the theater, eating popcorn and a drink, like breaking keto. Just that experience of watching, and the thing is, there are certain movies that I think need to be experienced on the big
Hmm.
screen. All the MCU movies, the Justice League film, they're big screen experiences.
Yeah.
Tenet is a big screen
Is
experience.
it?
Christopher Nolan did not disappoint. He does not disappoint. It's basically Christopher Nolan, Black James Bond, time travel. Deal with it. Okay. And you hear that and you go, "What?" And then you go in there and then you get your mind blown and you go, "Is Christopher Nolan secretly a genius? That's what's going on? Is that how he suckered us in and made this amazing film?" It was so good. I would tell everybody I gave it an 8 out of 10. My other buddy, he was the same. He probably gave it a 9 out of 10. One of my other friends went and watched it like a week after that, and he was like, "I don't know, I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was good, but I wasn't blown away." He said, "But there were parts in the movie where my jaw literally dropped,"
I
and
mean,
I was
six
like,
out of ten is still a really good review.
"Yeah." Well, there's the thing is like there's a without giving too much away, there's this scene that they talked about before the movie came out, and Christopher Nolan said that's not a special effect, that's a practical effect. We actually crashed the 737 to shoot that scene, and we could only do it
Really?
in one scene. It was a one take. We could not mess it up. We built the building, and we bought an actual 737 that was decommissioned to crash it into that
Wow.
building that we built, and we could not mess that scene up. So we knew everybody had to be on point when they shot it. There could be no mess ups. It was a one take. And when you watch that scene take place, you're going, "Wait, they're going to crash a real jet? That's not a special effect." And then you see the scene and you see everything that's moving around it like a James Bond film. You're just like, he doesn't make films like the rest of them. He's up here. He's on this other level. And in that scene, he's like, when I watched that scene, I was just blown away. Like, okay, that's not special effects. This fool really just crashed that jet to shoot that scene.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I asked. Yeah, so I asked this because we just got news that Marvel pushed back Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals
Yep.
to next year. Black Widow was supposed to be coming out November this year. It'll now be, what is that, May next year. Shang-Chi will be July, and Eternals will be November of next year. So
Yeah, I really feel like
it's interesting
they'll.
with them releasing Mulan for that premium $30 that they're not releasing Black Widow. But I can kind of understand that because they're thinking the theaters will be fully open and people will want to go back and see see Black Widow all together in the theaters. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really think
I think
theaters will be open. Like things will be more normal
hmm
next year around like April or like early summertime
yeah.
because that's when everyone is gonna want to go out and do stuff. So that's probably why they're releasing like those movies closer to that time frame because they know that's when like a lot of people see more movies, and that's probably when they're hoping by then at least.
Yeah. But it's also a risk because they don't know if things will get better or if they'll get even worse. So I'm like,
Right.
if things get worse by that point, I hopefully they'll just release it on Disney Plus.
They'll
I'm gonna
probably.
break down two things into that. One, the MCU movies are billion-dollar franchises.
Oh yeah.
Usually they can count on one of those films every year makes a billion. Whether it was Black Panther the year it came out, the
Hmm.
Avengers, they had two films, Captain Marvel, they had three films that one year that were billion plus. Um, so I think when it came to Black Widow, that was always my take is they're not going to drop the billion-dollar baby on the streaming service. They're going to want to get that in the markets and get all the $1 billion and then put it on the streaming service.
Hmm.
Um, Eternals, Shang-Chi, I didn't have much hope for, but when Chadwick Boseman died, I was like, wait a minute, next year was supposed to be Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
There was a
Now it's
hole
pushed
there
back.
that's now, and a lot of my friends hit me up like, I don't do Team Lift anymore and I haven't done a show in a while. And the day he died, I bet you I probably took 20 text messages that day. What's your take on this? What are they going to do with the films? And I was like, bro, can I not even mourn for a day before I give you this?
Let the king rest.
Yeah, let me just mourn this first. I will tell you right now, they've already, the director has already come out and said, I don't want to recast him. In the comic books, we already know that Shuri
Hmm. That's who
came
I
to
want.
Black Panther herself. So if we're going to just go comic book historians for a moment, we already have her. We already have the Black Panther cast. She steps
She
into
would
the role.
fucking kill it.
Oh yeah,
She would be great.
yeah, and that was the way it went down. Is that she stepped in when T'Challa was out,
Hmm.
in the comic book, and she was the Black Panther for about a year
Yeah.
in the comic books. So
I know.
why not?
I know a
I
lot of people are thinking maybe somehow they use the stones to bring Killmonger back
yeah.
and have him as the new Black Panther.
That'd be pretty interesting too. I also just hope that they kill him off in a good and respectful way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I still think that it's going to be hard for them to deal with. They're going to have to
Oh yeah.
acknowledge it, but I do know I got a little hyped during the quarantine. There was talk that Michael B. Jordan came out and said, "Hey, I will be returning for Black Panther 2." And when he said that, I was like, "Okay, I'm hyped." Why? Because I thought Killmonger was probably one of the most fascinating
Oh, he was
villains,
great.
and I was like, "Why would you kill off two? Like, you killed off two of your villains in the same movie who were notoriously been Black Panther
Hmm.
villains for
Yeah, Claw
for
and
like,
Killmonger.
yeah,
Yeah.
they always in the comic book. They're still active villains in the
Yeah.
comic book. So I was like, these are two great ones. Why are you killing them? That makes no sense. And then when he said he was coming back, I was like, okay, there's a chance they're going to use something to bring him back. He's
Hmm.
going to be
I saw
revived.
something online where a lot of people were saying he actually wasn't dead. Killmonger wasn't dead.
Yeah.
And I was
You
like,
know,
oh. And I have to watch the movie again because I don't remember. I was like, I think I remember him dying.
I thought he was
Well,
dying in his
Yeah.
arms as they were watching the sunset, but they never explicitly said he's dead. He was just laying there. He said, "Just bury me at
I'd see
sea."
with my
And
ancestors.
oh, bro, and I was like, "That's the greatest sign. You don't kill that villain. You don't kill this guy. Bring him back somehow." So I'm really torn. But the thing that got me about that also was after Boseman passed, people started coming out and talking, and he had told Disney when he took that role he was fighting cancer. Disney knew the entire time.
Yeah.
So I think they've plotted, I'll just
They tried
say
to get as
based
much of him
on
as they could.
his record with these movies, they've plotted this out for a while. Kevin Feige has something in his back pocket he has not told us. But
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're definitely right. They probably were just not expecting it to be this soon.
oh no, I don't think so either. But when they pushed the movies into 2021, I was looking at the original schedule and I went, that makes sense. Push your
Hmm.
$1 billion baby back, and then also that gave us time to deal with the Black Panther gap in the hole. Because when that comes up next year, 2021 is going to suck for people all over again when they realize this was the week Black Panther 2 was supposed to drop. So, no, pushing your whole schedule back a year, I think that gives people time to get over it and to steal more, but also get your money, get your box office money. And I'm going to throw money. I had money to throw at Wonder Woman and Black Widow. I'm
Yeah.
going to throw money at those two.
And I
Okay.
think with Mulan, like you said, they just released it right out to the streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't $1 billion baby for them.
Mm-mm.
That was
No,
just like,
yeah.
oh, it's another Disney princess movie that we've just remade.
But those live action remakes have all been amazing. Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, they've all been so solid. I thought, hey, it's going to do well, but it's not the $1 billion baby. It was not the one that's going to make a print money for them.
It's
I
definitely
love
Disney.
Jungle Book. That one was great.
I think Disney's strong suit right now is definitely the MCU.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to say Star Wars is a close second, and then it's actual like Disney movies.
And Pixar picks up the slack for them. Pixar's like, well,
Yeah.
we're about to be the #1 film for 50 weeks. Come on, who are we? So yeah, and I'm hyped about that because Pixar was going to give us 2 this year, and I was like, well, they dropped the first one on us, the Onward, which was
Mm-hmm.
I
loved
liked
it.
That was a good
Loved
movie.
it.
Cute movie.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're still going to try to give us Soul for Christmas, but I'm like, if it does, I'm going to the theater to watch it, man. I'm just, come on, man, a black character and jazz music. Here's my money, Disney. Okay.
My problem with Soul, and I'm still gonna go watch it. I wish they hadn't included the bit of. I wish they hadn't included the story or the plot with him actually dying. I would have loved to. I would have loved to see a story about a black dude playing jazz in New Orleans or
Yeah,
wherever he
it-
is.
but they always
the
weird
soul
us out
bit
with
is just a
these.
bit too extra natural.
Bro, they always throw something at us. Like the
True.
first 5 minutes of Up is still hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's like Disney always knows. Pixar knows how to come to us with a story and go, I'm gonna get your emotions right here. I'll punch you in the gut, and then I'm gonna tell this great story that's gonna make you love this guy. But yeah,
It's like that meme of it's the woman crawling on the ground and it's the soldier above her doing that. That's what Pixar does to your emotions.
Yeah.
every time. I was like, come on, man, can you just even the Good Dinosaur kicked me in the groin, and I was like, and I love that film, and I was like, man, Pixar, it's okay to
I
tell a happy
enjoyed it
story.
because I was a dad, and I was like, I'd want my son to be like that. Like,
Yeah.
if something were to happen to me, I would want him to be strong and find himself because he knows that.
I
He's my
actually
son, I'm
wasn't
a
a big
part.
fan of Big Dinosaur, but I know it has a lot of fans.
Oh, bro, yeah, it's one of those, man. Pixar, it's like their worst film.
Yeah,
You
but
start thinking about
it's still recommended.
what's their worst.
Good.
Cars 3, Good
Yeah.
Dinosaur. You still like, and they were still
Cars
good.
2, Cars 3, yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh yeah, so ow, damn. Okay. Guess that'll be it for this episode. Good talk. Loved the discussion. So yeah, thanks guys for coming on. It was great having y'all.
Yeah, it was
Thanks for having us, man.
Hopefully we'll get y'all in the next few weeks. Not sure when I'll do this again, but yeah, because movie talk and game talk, all of that is just really dead right now. So just podcast whenever we can. I know. Me and you, Coach, are trying to do the anime podcast sometime real soon. So we'll get
I'd be
that.
up for that.
We'll get that.
Yeah, man. Call me up, man. I know I've really been the schedule has been really weird, because I have started doing gigs again.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told you, man, if you hit me on those Tuesdays, those Thursdays, and you give me enough time, I can totally try to flip some things around for you to be on that show. So I'm down, man. Just let me know.
Yeah, will do. All right, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream. And yeah, till next time, we'll see you when you see it. I am Josh. With me again, we had Carl and Coach. So until